There's power in a drumbeat on a hill above the sea. Power in the voice of a supporter. But it all amounts to nothing. Together we don't sing. There's power when we're not oases. Any day go forever. Old town stingery. Valley and mountain shine brown to the sea. And the colors of our rainbow, sunset orange, Tory green. There's power when we're not oases. ST loyal forever. Someday in North County. Desert to islands. Get loud now you and me. All our voices strong together as we cheer on our team.
Welcome to the Loyal Locals podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Dyer, back after a week absence from the show. Let me bring on our producer, John Cross. John, how are you doing today?
I am doing as well as I can be today. Go ahead.
Both John and I, we both found out that the pandemic is still happening, apparently. When we both came down with COVID last week, I was shocked because having not ever had COVID before, I was operating under this false assumption that I was immune to the novel coronavirus because when my family had it, my son and my wife, I did not get sick in the house. So I was just like, well, there you go. I'm that guy. Like, I'm that guy, you know? Well, I am not that guy. And John, I hear you too are not that guy.
I am not that guy. I am actually still testing positive and in isolation here in my studio. So I am still working my way through it. Also my first time. And wondered in the back of my mind, with all my teaching and everything else and being around people, if I might possibly be one of those special people, although I do wear a mask frequently, as most people know. But I got it, and I got it bad. I don't know how bad it was for you, but it was pretty bad for me those first few days.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Although, I mean, obviously, I wasn't on a ventilator or anything like that was happening a couple of years ago. But yeah, not fun. Definitely weird. I think having it this time made me realize that whatever illnesses I've had over the last 2 years that I thought, well, is it? It was definitely not it. Like, I was like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
this is what it is. This is for sure. Like, but yeah, we're going to keep going on. We do have a third guest host who will be joining us shortly. We will interrupt.
And I think he might be ready. I think we can go ahead and bring him on here.
Well, let's end the drama and suspense. Kevin, are you there?
I'm hoping technology likes me a little more right now.
Yeah, you appear to be in real time.
You sound good.
Is he frozen again, or is he just?
We
is he just holding still?
Right as soon as you said that.
All right. Well, we do have a lot of stuff to get to, and normally I know we do this in the intro. A lot of things have happened over the last couple of weeks. None of them good. We will recap what you've lost, what we've lost, and how we've lost. As you may or may not be aware, your San Diego Loyal have not won a game in over a month. The team has tied 3 games in a row before losing on Saturday. They've not won since May 20th in Miami, a game that we were at the watch party at Al Smith for. And even going back before that Miami game, our current run of form, John and I did some sleuthing and some investigating. We can trace it all the way back to the April 29th loss at home to El Paso. We beat OC on the road. We lost to Rio Grande Valley at home, May 13th. Then there was that Miami win, and then that was the last time we put 3 points on the board. Charlie Adams came back in the game, did not make much of a difference. Any signs of positivity that we may see from this side have been dashed against the rocks. So, John,
Yes.
is the season over?
Well, we are at the midpoint of the season here. I don't know if it's this game. I think we're coming up to match day 17. Is that right? Yeah, so this will be the halfway point after we finish the game this week. Is it over? No, but we are in a precarious position from being up towards the top of the table early on in the season and having some convincing games and feeling confident. We are now, if you look at the table, just a couple points above the playoff line right now. I mean, get a couple results not go our way, and we're below that playoff line pretty
have
fast.
Jumped into the deep end with our cement shoes on, and
Yeah.
we are plummeting to the bottom of the Western Conference in the USL. A team that started the season with aspirations of, championship game, conference championship, and they are going to be fighting for a playoff spot if things don't turn around drastically and soon. It's difficult to even pinpoint exactly what's wrong, because you do see signs of possibility still in the team. You see, I think we
Right.
saw it in Pittsburgh, some good connections, some positive play, some, at times the passing was quick and sharp, and they transitioned the ball from the back to the attacking third very convincingly and very authoritatively. But when you get there, if the finishing isn't there, and then your back line isn't there, you have Koke wearing ice skates at the edge of the box. You have defenders missing assignments or not marking or ball watching. And I think at the end of the match, we were tied, and a bad, stupid foul at the edge of the box. There's going to be a free kick. And I remember writing in Discord, I was like, it's going in. We all know that, right? Like, it's going in. And I think we all knew that ball was going in. They were going to score. And so when the ball did go in and they scored and went ahead, I wasn't even mad, because I felt like I was right. Like, nothing makes me happier than being right. And so I was right, and I was happy about it. We are joined again by Kevin Joseph. Kevin, how are you doing?
Oh, we're jinxing them.
Nope. Apparently, this is just not going to happen tonight.
Yeah,
It's all of those torrents he's got running in the background. He's downloading the new Flash movie because he likes it. Kevin was just telling me before we came on how much he enjoys Ezra Miller as an actor. Huge fan, huge Ezra Miller guy. Really supports him. And see, if this wasn't true, he would be rebutting me, but he's not. So I feel like this.
I don't even know.
We were just talking about the performance on Saturday. Did you catch the game, Kevin?
I did not. I was actually at the.
He was at the Flash, like we were talking about before the game. He went to see his favorite actor Ezra Miller perform as the Flash in a big DC fanboy. Not going to miss a DC movie, a chance to see a DC movie in the theaters. Very superior to Marvel. Kevin, you were just telling us about seeing the Flash on Saturday instead of watching the Loyal match.
I don't know if this is going to work tonight.
I'm just going to keep talking about him being an Ezra Miller guy.
Yeah,
There he is.
Yeah. Let's see how long this lasts. About 5 seconds, I'm guessing.
Let's try it.
Yeah, you seem to be all good right now.
Cool. So where were we?
The Flash?
The game.
Oh, the game. Yes.
I mean, I haven't seen The Flash, so I am of no help there. The game. No, I didn't get the chance to watch it. I was at the Wave game on Saturday night. It was a rough night for any team I followed. There were 4 of them, and all of them either drew disappointingly or lost even more disappointingly.
Well, and yeah, it was very disappointing when Ezra Miller allegedly kidnapped those girls and assaulted them. Okay, we can move on to the what are we going to do about this run of form? How do we turn it around, John? What is lacking? What are we needing?
Winning. we I don't know, in the last game I felt like we lost our composure towards the end. It was one of the few times where I felt at the end of the match I didn't feel as confident as I did in other matches. It just, players looked off. Like, I'm not sure what it was. And like you said, in the beginning of the match, I thought Pittsburgh is a good team. And I thought we played them very well, especially playing them in their place. And I was feeling very confident that this game, especially early on with the Perez goal, I was thinking that this could be a good outcome. But it, as the game wore on and we kept kind of giving Pittsburgh the opportunity to hang in there in the game, and then just made some silly mistakes. And really, we have played tough teams through here, and frankly, we haven't done as well as if we want to be Western Conference champions, we haven't done as well as we need to be against these teams. We're now coming up against the run of teams who are more mid-table instead of top of table, so this will be another test for us to see.
I mean, we're mid-table. We're mid-table. That's what that's my point. Is like we are.
Are we a mid-table team?
I mean, we are.
Or are we below a mid-table team? Right. Well, so I mean, we're coming up against these teams that are mid-table and below.
This pattern holds, but in a way, it's kind of more fun when your teams are bad because you have all of these things to talk about and nitpick. When they're winning, all we're doing is talking about how we're never going to lose. Well, that's what I do. Never going to lose a game again. Championship. This gives us some real meat to gnaw on. For me, it seems like our problems begin and end with the back line. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the guys are having trouble recovering on the counterattack. I don't know if the communication between the center backs isn't where it needs to be. I don't know, but I do know from watching these games that most of these goals that are scored against us are there because of defensive mistakes. It's not necessarily world-beating play by the opposite strikers. It is capitalizing on mistakes our defenders make, either with positioning or with effort.
Right. And I guess if you do the glass half full for that, means those are things that can be corrected, hopefully, in the long run, right? And you tighten that stuff up and keep doing your things you're doing well, and maybe we do. In years past, middle of the summer is usually when we got hot and got on a solid run, and then we kind of falter towards the end of the year. So maybe this is our faltering, and we're going to get hot in the second half of the season and carry that through to the playoffs.
Yeah, but like by now, like I feel like last year, I feel like we had like that lineup, like we knew what our strongest lineup was. And right now, I don't know what our strongest lineup is. Perez played great, and God bless him. At least somebody is taking some shots. I know several of them were well above the goal, but at least he's trying. At least he's putting the ball in the area. Like I've been complaining about the lack of shots, right? Like passing and like searching for that perfect strike. Whenever, hey, Perez just freaking kick the crap out of that ball and maybe it'll go in. And one time it did, and it was a great goal. I think it gave him a lot of confidence to keep on trying that.
Keep trying. Yeah.
Which I'm not going to fault him for trying as often as he did, because nobody else was going to do it. Nobody else was, putting the ball on target. So, hell, fuck it, why not? And it didn't quite work out, but we've seen in other games, we've seen signs from Damas, from Ronaldo Damas, who did not play on Saturday. I don't know what's going on there, but he did not see the field. Yeah, and I just don't know. I don't know what our best lineup is, because we've had injuries. Charlie Adams is just getting back. And if you were watching, Alejandro Quito went down, looked like with a hamstring injury, and had to be
Right.
substituted in the first half. So if you're, league MVP caliber talent, is going to be missing more games, it's hard to see the silver lining here. John, can you find that silver lining for me?
Well, again, I think these are the mistakes that have been made, like you mentioned before, seem to be errors in judgment, um, lack of concentration at times, but those are all fixable things. It's not like I never feel in a match that we are thoroughly outclassed on a talent level. But I do feel like we just go on what you said before. We haven't quite found our a really solid combination of 11. Like this is our go-to. At certain games, certain combinations of people seem to do well, and then other games not so well. Um, but I think everything we've seen are all fixable problems. I guess that's the silver lining. I think, if we clean up some of those things and maybe a little confidence, if we get a couple wins under our belt, maybe things will start pulling together. But we seem to have fits and starts of very positive signs either during a game or even a full game where maybe we've come from behind and we've won. It just doesn't seem to carry over game after game. I mean, we were talking about it pre-show. We are the only team in the Western Conference that doesn't have a win in its last 5 games. We have 3 draws, but we don't have a win. Every other team has at least 1 win in their last 5 games. And we, if we want to stay up there and make the playoffs, host a playoff, anything, we have to change that.
So that 180 turn starts Saturday in the
Hopefully.
Beautiful exotic Indianapolis, Indiana confines, wherever they play, in a cornfield out there. Do you know anything about Indy 11?
Jack Blake plays there. I mean, I don't follow too many of the teams in the East very closely. Just, they're not our conference. We don't have the home and away series with them. I know, I think Indy 11 is a bit like us, that there's some talent on the team and there's some potential, and then they'll have a couple run of games where everybody says, oh, they're back on track and they're going to be maybe making a push for one of the top spots, and then they lose a couple silly games, and I think this will be an interesting matchup. How do we face up against them at their place? Because I think we are in very similar situations in our respective conferences right now.
So let me paint this picture for you, because we don't have the third chair right now, so I feel like I've got a little bit of freedom. I'm looking at the table right now. Loyal sits in 6th position in the West. We have 23 points. We have 3 games on the road coming up. Indy on Saturday, Hartford, that's in Connecticut, on I'm sorry, I'm flexing my geography knowledge there. I bet y'all didn't know that Hartford was in Connecticut, but yes, it is. That is on July 8th, and then in Colorado on July 14th. Yeah. That is in Colorado Springs, which has a elevation of north of 7,000 feet. In Colorado Springs, it is a higher elevation than Denver, which is famously the Mile High City. So They are going to be in the mile higher city of Colorado Springs at the end of that. So that is 3 matches. If we don't get points at either of those 3 matches, we risk plummeting. I mean, we won't be last place. Let me just put it that way. We won't be last place in the West, but we could drop as far if the bottom teams, if they do get points and we don't. Worst case scenario, we end this run in 11th place. If RGV and New Mexico and OC can string some wins together and we don't, then they could all possibly pass us. I'm just doing the math in my head, adding 9 to the numbers that are on their point totals. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. We are on the precipice of those cement shoes really dragging us down to the bottom of the standings. Now, if we win multiple games, of course, then we are in good shape to remain in playoff contention and even climb in the West. But those are all on the road. And you cannot take road games for granted, no matter who the opponent is, because we've seen what happens whenever we do that, and we've dropped points on those.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, it's for any team in any series of games, it could be a big swing. We could potentially, if we do really well in these next 3 matches, we could possibly finish in 3rd by the end of this stretch, or we could be down at 11. So it's pretty tight. I mean, there's a tight bunch of teams here, so depending on the results, there's going to be a lot of leapfrogging.
It's a really bad time to have these struggles because they have these 4 games consecutive on the road. They're not back in Torero for more than a month, right? So we will not
30th,
even see this team possibly win a game again at our building until July 30th, when that's a Sunday when Colorado Springs comes to town. They're coming down way up off of that 7,000 feet elevation, which unfortunately the air pressure doesn't work the same in reverse. They do just fine when they come down here. So there will be watch parties. So to pivot again away from all of this depressing talk about the team's performance, and we can talk about things that are actually fun. We can all commiserate together. There are watch parties in the offing. John, where are we watching this game Saturday?
Well, we always have our normal watch parties, Cabarrus, Fairplay, and Northern Pine. But the official, I think, loyal one is going to be at Fairplay, along with the official Wave watch party. So it's a bit of a double header at Fairplay this weekend if you want to go check that out and support both teams. The game times are staggered, I think, just about perfectly, where one game should finish and roll right into the next game. So that'll be going on at Fairplay if you want to go check that out. But certainly if you're in South Bay and you want to hit up Cabarrus, you can head down there, or North County Coastal, head over to Northern Pine. They will always be showing our matches on their screens at their places.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be ready for a watch party yet. That'll be up in the air.
Yeah, I will not. I know that already.
I'm out of isolation officially. I am, according to the CDC, supposed to still be masking when I go places, but yeah, I am not testing positive anymore, which is like the important thing to me.
That's good. I still am.
So we are coming out of June. We have no more goal opportunities for Pride Raiser. John, do we have a Pride Raiser update?
I don't have the webpage up right now. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of sorts trying to get back in the swing of things here. But we I mean, it will be our last game in June. Or actually, I don't know if we're counting this one
No,
because
I mean,
technically
it's July
isn't it?
1st.
Yeah, I guess we are at our amounts, so we'll definitely have to do an update on our next show that we have. But also, depending, like the Pride Raiser normally is a pledge for how many goals are scored, and like I pledged $10 per goal. But as Andrew has said repeatedly, you can always up that to a higher amount.
So we do have a
if you would
huge
like.
opportunity on Saturday, John. I am on the just in. I am on the Pride Raiser page right now, and yes, the July 1st match at Indianapolis is listed as an event on Pride Raiser. So it looks like it will count. We are not done yet. We are currently at $166 per goal. 7 goals scored this month, puts the total at $1,162. I think we can do better than that. I think we can score a hatful of goals in Indianapolis. There's a lot of good corn out there. The boys are going to load up on corn and take the field. And just really multiple hat tricks all around. So we can really increase this. And if they don't, then it is up to all of y'all to make up the difference.
And again, you can still go on the Pride Raiser site and you can pledge. And if you have not heard, like he's done the last few years, our chairman and AV is going to match whatever we raise initially in the Pride Raiser amount. And then he's going to match that. And then that will all go towards the charity that we're working for. So again, if you haven't signed up, or maybe you want to change your amount or anything else, you've got a few more days to go ahead and put that in, and we'll try to raise as much money as we can. And then Andrew, as he said, is going to match that for us. So
I want to stay on the subject of
if you can
Pride.
contribute anything to help make that just a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, you hiccuped there for a second. But I want to stick on Pride. The Pride Parade is coming up. That's Saturday, July 15th. If you are interested in being in the parade or volunteering, those opportunities are there. Check the Discord. I think all of that information is on Discord. Do you have anything else on that, John?
Yeah, there's a form to fill out if you want to be part of the parade. There's going to be 100 people total. They cap it at 100. So it's the Loyal, it's us, it's Javos, it's Rainbow Loyal, it's Fiends, it's everybody. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you get on Discord. It should be in the announcements, or you can just search even through Discord, but find that form so you can officially sign up and be a part of the parade if you would like to do that. But if not the parade and you still want to help out, or that day doesn't work for you, there's tons of volunteer opportunities available. And I think that came out in both an email to members as well as up on Discord. So there's some other volunteer opportunities that you can do to be part of the event or help out, even if that Saturday doesn't work for you.
Now, if you are listening live right now or catch us before 9 p.m., there is open play on with the club, the supporter group's Rocket League team. If you are curious about Rocket League or just want to get in and get some games in, the gaming league team is on a bye week, and so they are going to have some open play. All of that information is also in the Discord. There's an announcement Jason posted just a little while ago. So if you're not in the Discord, you need to be in the Discord because this is where everything's happening.
Yeah, and Joe, play around with everyone. We've got a pretty solid team this time around. I think they are. Do you know for certain, Andrew? I think they're still undefeated right now.
As far as I know, yeah, I know that they've been playing really well and really running away with things at the moment. I don't think they've played everybody yet, though.
No, I don't think they played everybody yet. All right, so also for some events coming up, one month from today, right? We play Dortmund at Snapdragon. So if you have not purchased your tickets yet, last I heard, it's a pretty big section that we have that is designated just for us. It's more than 600 seats. And last I heard is we've sold a little more than half of that section. So, which is, I think, might be more than what we have in 109 total seats.
For
So,
sure.
yeah, I don't know what 109 seats, but this is a decent section, and it's reserved exclusively for us with special pricing. So if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, look at the links that you've been sent in email, get on Discord and check those out, but get your tickets and join us to make our own Tory Green wall there in section 138, I believe it is. But yeah, we want to try to fill up that section as much as we can for that match against Dortmund.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. A bright spot in the otherwise, whatever season that we're enduring right now.
and we're going to be, there's already talk about plans for a big tailgate. So there will be a big tailgate for that match.
Yeah, definitely. I think that'll make the game ticket worth it on its own. We've never, well, kind of in the Open Cup last year, but we've never really had a nice big pregame tailgate.
Right.
Done what we can with the parking lot, but it ain't the same. And this is going to be the first time in the 4 seasons of San Diego Loyal that we really have a proper fucking tailgate, and it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, and I know there's some feelers going out of maybe trying to do something with some of the Dortmund fans beforehand or not. So I know there's some conversations happening. I don't know if we're going to tailgate near each other or what, but
how friendly
really,
is this friendly? What are we talking about here?
Well, before kickoff friendly. And
I like the idea of like getting mad
friendly.
at the other team's fans, like, and it's a friendly match. Like,
yeah, so that's again 1 month from today. So if you, at least as we're recording this on a Tuesday, June 27th, so July 27th is the match. But yeah, if you haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets and head on out there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, I think that is pretty much everything we had for this week, John. I know we didn't talk about it at the top of the show. No lounge tonight. Sorry if you were looking forward to the lounge, but John and I both recovering.
Yeah, we can't do it.
COVID, and it's not not working for us this week. We will return, of course, with the lounge at a future date. So up next, we have the watch party Saturday. Hope folks can make it out. I believe it's going to be the one at Fair Play is going to be a co-watch party with Wave. They play,
right.
I think they play first, or did they play at the same time? But yeah, so it'll be a big big local soccer party at Fair Play.
And then a couple of Bum TV kind of updates. As Andrew said, no lounge tonight. Also next week is our planned summer break because Tuesday is 4th of July. So we have not planned on having any shows all season for next week. So we will not be back for 2 weeks, although Bum's Breakdown will still be having episodes. There should be another one coming out this week. I know they have, and maybe I've missed it because I've been kind of out of it with COVID, but I know that they've been working or talking about doing a mid-season kind of recap, but maybe that was with the Pittsburgh one. I apologize if I missed that since I've missed all my podcasts here for a while. But they will still be doing their shows, and they will, as far as I know, they're doing a show next week as well. So we'll still have some shows for you, and maybe if we can get some of the logistics worked out, we might have a kick in it with the locals. Just no Loyal Locals podcast and a lounge next week. And one final thing for me, I did actually finish that Pirates, Punks, and Politics, that book about St. Pauli, FC. So I'm waiting to see. Andrew, did you ever get your book?
Oh, I'm waiting for your copy. I'm just going to borrow yours.
My copy's all marked up now.
Good. That means I don't have to do my own homework. Perfect.
Yeah, you can get your own cliff notes out of it. I enjoyed it. It was very informative. So I'm hoping we get some other people to read it so that we can have our discussion sometime later in the summer here about the book.
All right. Well, so if you have any questions or feedback for the pod, please hit us up. Let us know. John, where can people find you?
Best place is on Discord at John Cross.
All right. I am also on Discord, Andrew Dyer. You find me on Twitter at Andrew P. Dyer. And that's it. So thank you so much. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully with 6 points in the pocket.
Hopefully. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
San Diego forever.